Morena, you guys. Welcome to Yoga Lattes with SJ and to this beautiful morning yoga practice. So this is a full practice that you can do every day to start your day. It's a deep full body morning yoga stretch, and we're here in the beautiful Bowen town of the North Island on the coast of New Zealand. So just starting here to release the shoulders down the back, starting at the top end of your mat, finding a neutral pelvis, and then inhale as you sweep the arms up, looking up, exhale as you float the arms out and coming down, forward fold. Inhale, rolling the spine, tucking the chin, and exhale. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, looking up, exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, rolling the spine, coming up and reaching up, and exhale as you hinge forward at the hips, releasing down, forward fold. Inhale, coming to a halfway lift, flat back, exhale, float it down, forward fold. Inhale, framing the feet with your hands, stepping the right foot back, then the left, coming to your plank. Drop the knees down if you want to, or staying high. Shoulders away from the ears, elbows go straight back, lowering the heart down, and then coming up to a cobra, opening the heart forward, exhale, lowering down. Inhale, shifting back, pressing the hips back to your child's pose, and then exhale. Inhale, shifting forward, tabletop, exhale, rolling over the top of the feet, coming to your first downward facing dog. Taking a moment here, pressing the belly towards the top of the legs, and inhale, starting to bring the right leg up to a three-legged dog, bringing the knee forward and placing the foot between the hands, then stepping the left foot to meet the right, coming to your forward fold. Inhale, rolling the spine, coming up, exhale, releasing the shoulders. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, exhale, pressing the hips forward, finding a little back bend here, and then lifting the heart up towards the sky as you come all the way forward, folding down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, framing the feet with your hands, stepping the left foot back, and then the right, coming to your plank position. Drop those knees if you want to, or staying high, starting to lower down with control, shoulders away from the ears, forehead kisses the earth, and elbows go straight back, starting to come up through cobra and sitting back towards the heels, and then coming forward to your tabletop position, and then rolling over the top of the feet and starting to come back to your downward facing dog, taking those cleansing breaths through the nose and out the nose. Inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale, stepping the foot between the hands, and then the right foot meets the left, coming to your fold at the top end of your mat. And inhale, rolling the spine, coming all the way up to your Tadasana. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, framing the feet with your hands, stepping the right foot back, then the left, coming to your plank, either staying high, lowering down through chaturanga to upward facing dog, or you can come all the way down onto the knees and come down to your cobra, and we're all meeting in our downward facing dog. Lifting the hips, sinking the heels down. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale as you bring the knee forward towards the heart center, stepping the foot between the hands, and then the right foot comes forward. And inhale, rolling the spine all the way up and reaching the arms. Exhale, swan dive forward, releasing down. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, float it down, forward fold. Inhale, stepping or jumping back to your plank position. Drop the knees if you want to, or staying high, coming down through chaturanga to upward facing dog, rolling over the top of the feet, sinking the heels down, downward facing dog. Cleansing breaths, guys. Inhale and exhale, bending the knees generously towards the belly, and then lifting the hips up high, sinking the heels down, and starting to bend those legs and straighten, keeping it going, lifting the hips up nice and high, and we are starting to come back, downward facing dog, and inhale. Exhale, maybe walking the dog here, maybe bending one knee towards the belly, then the other, as you continue to lift the hips high, sinking the heels down, maybe letting the head gaze to one side and then the other, maybe looking underneath each armpit as you find a really nice twist into the waist, making sure you're breathing deeply. And then starting to lower down, coming all the way to your child's pose, sitting back towards the heels, and then inhale, coming forward, tabletop. Exhale, coming to your downward facing dog. Inhale, shifting forward, gaze straight down, sitting down towards the heels, child's pose. Inhale, shifting forward through tabletop, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, sinking the heels, down dog. Flowing with this, inhale, coming forward and lowering the knees, sitting back towards the heels, drawing up from that belly button to spine to come through tabletop, and then lifting the hips, sinking the heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, starting to lower those knees down, coming through your tabletop, sitting back towards the heels, and then rounding the spine, chin to chest as you shift forward, tabletop, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, sinking the heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, shifting forward, exhale, lowering the knees, sitting back towards the heels, finding your child's pose, allowing everything to sink down here, maybe letting the arms come down by your sides, bringing the shoulders away from the ears. You might find a little rock of the pelvis from side to side. Anything that feels good. Maybe you might roll the forehead a few times from side to side over your mat, taking some cleansing breaths in through the nose and out the nose or mouth as you allow the pelvis to sink down. And then when you're ready, just starting to bring the hands next to the either side of the head and just bringing the knees out wide, big toes together, finding a wide-legged child's pose as you start to extend the arms out. Forehead comes all the way down to your mat, just allowing the hips to open here as you send those cleansing breaths down to the lower back, melting it out. Deep breath in through the nose, filling the belly, and then exhale it all the way back out the nose or mouth as you allow the heart to melt down even more. Shoulders relaxing, jaw relaxing. And then on an inhale, softly gazing up towards the hands, walking the hands over to the right side. You might stack the left hand on top of the right and just sinking the forehead back down to your mat. Starting to find a cleansing breath here in through the nose, through that side waist, the left side, and then exhale. Starting to come back up on an inhale, gazing softly up. Walking the hands over to the other side and melting back down. Forehead kisses the earth, and maybe you might stack that right hand on top of the left. Finding a cleansing breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, sending it out, releasing. On an inhale, starting to walk the hands back through center, soft gaze up. Lowering down onto your forearms and keeping your pelvis in a neutral. Just starting to bring the hips forward and then pressing the hips back. So we want to just keep that nice long line from the top of the head all the way out the tailbone. So you've got length through the back of the neck. Your gaze is down or slightly forward, and it's just a very small movement forward and back. And then you're just coming up onto the palms of the hands, spreading wide through the fingers, and just starting to bring the knees into a neutral position. So the knees are in line with the top of the feet and also in line with the hips. Shoulders in line with the wrists. Inhale, gaze up, tailbone up. Exhale, pressing the mat away as you round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, dropping the belly, gaze up, tailbone up. Exhale, pressing the mat away as you round the spine, chin to chest. Beautiful. Just flowing with this in any way that feels good. Moving from your cat through to your cow, making this super organic. Just starting to allow everything to flow freely. Maybe starting to find a neutral spine and then moving from that neutral to tuck the tailbone under, chin to chest, finding the hips sitting back towards the heels, and then as you inhale, shifting forward again to your flat back, lengthening through the back of the neck. So you're kind of finding a really, really nice rounding of the tailbone, tucking that tailbone under, bringing the chin to chest as you start to sit back towards the heels, finding a really nice release into the low back. And then as you inhale, shifting forward, finding that really flat back, that long line from the top of the head. Nice, and then just starting to gaze over the right shoulder as you bump the hips over to the left, and then coming back through center, gazing over the left shoulder as you bump the hips right. Coming back through center and then inhale, bringing the right leg back and then stepping the foot all the way forward to the outside of that right hand, dropping the front side of the pelvis down, finding a nice open heart here, and then we're starting to bring the right hand to the inside of that right knee, gently pressing out as you gaze over that right shoulder, and then inhale, coming back through center, exhale, starting to press the hips back and lifting the toes toward the head and bringing the head all the way towards the leg. And then you're just starting to gaze forward and starting to let the heel of that right foot just come over to the left side of your mat, and keeping the hips square, just framing the front foot and just starting to slowly release down. So letting the head come down towards the top of the leg as you press the hips back, finding a really nice deep stretch through that whole right side. And then on an inhale, starting to gaze up and then starting to bring the leg to a kind of a parallel. So just crossing the mat so that you've got the shin in line with the top end of your mat. You can bring the foot back towards the pelvis as much as you like though here. So we don't want to be coming into a stretch that you're not able to fully, deeply breathe. So if this feels too intense, you can always bring the foot all the way back towards the pelvis. But if you want a deeper stretch, just starting to move the foot a little bit further forward, finding that sort of more parallel position of the shin. You can also come all the way down if you want to, and just starting to melt down, maybe lengthening the arms forward, letting the forehead come down onto the mat, finding some cleansing breaths in through the nose and out the nose or mouth. And then when you're ready, starting to slowly come back up out of this. Starting to very slowly take your time to come back to your downward facing dog, lifting the hips up and sinking the heels down, bending the knees as much as you like here, maybe walking the dog or maybe just finding stillness. Taking some time in your downward facing dog to breathe a little more deeply. Just allowing some length through the back of those legs. And then inhale, starting to bring the left knee forward and placing the foot to the outside edge of that left hand. And we're starting to lower the front side of the pelvis. Starting to allow a nice evenness here so that you're not rocking over to one side or the other. You're kind of keeping your hips quite square. And then you are taking the left hand to gently press to the inside of that left knee and just gazing over the left shoulder and allowing the hips to be square to the front of your mat, finding a nice deep twist here. Taking a deep breath in and a full breath out, and then coming back through center and starting to find a lifting of those toes towards the face and just letting the heel come to cross the mat so that the heel is over towards that right side and you've got your hips square and releasing down. Forehead comes towards the top of the leg as you press those hips back. Taking a deep breath in here and a full breath out. Inhale, gazing up, and exhale. As you start to adjust the foot, we're finding that shin is crossing across the mat again. So again, just taking a moment here to find where you can find a nice deep stretch, but you can still feel that you're breathing deeply. So you can bring the foot to be further forward or bringing the foot back towards the pelvis as much as you like. Maybe starting to walk the hands forward and lowering down, melting the heart, taking some deeper breaths in through the nose and out the nose or mouth, releasing all the way down, sending your breath to any areas of tightness allowing the time as well as the breath to start to melt it out, relaxing down. You might roll the forehead a few times over the mat, a little massage into the third eye, and then on an inhale, just starting to walk the hands all the way back in, and exhale as you start to come all the way out of this. Maybe just starting to rock the knees over to the right side and just sitting up nice and tall. You might do the same on the left. And then we're starting to bring the legs out long, flexing the toes back towards your face, sitting up nice and tall, shoulders away from the ears. And then inhale as you reach the arms up, exhale, floating the arms to either side of the legs as you start to lower down. Forehead comes towards the top of the legs. You might hold on to somewhere and maybe using your arm strength to gently pull forward, but not forcing anything here. On an inhale, you might find a little more length into the spine, pressing the hips back and starting to lift up even taller. And on an exhale, you might just start to float back down, finding an even more deeper release each breath. Maybe continuing to flow with that, or you might just stay here in stillness, allowing everything to melt down. Arms relaxing, fingers, wrists, tummy, forehead, jaw. And then taking your time to slowly gaze up. Soft gaze towards the feet. Inhale, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale as you start to sit up, finding length here, just crossing the right foot across the left leg, and then just wrapping that left arm around the outside of the knee, gazing over the right shoulder, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, lengthening up even more. Exhale as you twist a little deeper, finding that nice rotation here through the waist. Inhale, gaze comes back through first. Exhale as you unravel and lengthening the leg back out. Let's switch it over. So starting to bend the left knee, crossing the foot across the body, wrapping that right elbow around the outside of the left knee, and the left fingertips come back. You're gazing over that left shoulder. Inhale, sitting up tall. Exhale as you start to twist a little deeper. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale as you start to unravel, coming all the way back through center and releasing. Both legs go long. Nice work. Taking a moment here just to find a gentle rock of the knees to one side, then the other. Anything that feels good. And then we're starting to bring the hands behind the knees and lowering all the way down onto your back. Taking a moment here to allow the inside of the knees to fall inward. Maybe the feet might heel toe out a little bit wider, finding a little kind of tent position of the legs. You might bring your hands to the top of the hips and just starting to find some deeper breaths here. Breathing in and out. And then when you're ready, just starting to hug the right knee in and flexing all of the toes. So both feet, toes are flexed as you inhale, and as you exhale, relaxing the feet out. And inhale, using your arm strength to draw that right knee in even closer towards the shoulder. And then starting to exhale, soften the pelvis, soften the hips, soften the belly. Inhale, squeezing it in. Exhale, softening it out. Nice. And then just starting to lengthen the leg up. And you can hold on to somewhere behind the knee, or maybe grabbing hold of the ankle, or you might grab hold of somewhere on the foot. Just starting to draw the knee or draw the leg towards the shoulder a little bit more. You can use the left hand to gently ground down that left hip, and then just starting to open the leg out to the side. So we're bringing the leg out to the right side as you ground that left hip down. So we want to have both hips grounded down. We want the pelvis grounded, Relaxing the belly, keeping the back of the shoulders connected to your mat. Relaxing that left leg. We're finding a really nice openness here into the inner thigh, the hip. Nice. And then drawing it back through center, bending the knee, and you're just crossing the foot across the body. So we're kind of finding a really nice opening out of the hip. At the same time, you're just starting to draw things in. So you're just starting to just find that openness as well as a nice stretch here through the outer hip, the inside of the hip. Tummy is relaxing down. And then coming back through center, just bringing the knee to a neutral position. So you've got everything nice and neutral, and then just any movement here, maybe a rock out and a rock in of that knee. And then let's go straight over to the other side. So starting to straighten the right leg out, flexing all of the toes back towards the face as you inhale. And as you exhale, just relaxing the feet, relaxing the toes. Using your arm strength to gently pull that left knee in towards the left shoulder as you inhale. And as you exhale, allowing the hips to ground down, lengthening the tailbone out, pelvis releasing, heavy, belly softening. Beautiful work. That right leg is relaxed. And then just starting to lengthen the leg up, and you might hold on to somewhere behind the knee, maybe grabbing hold of the ankle, maybe grabbing hold of the foot. We're just starting to open that leg out to that left side, finding that open hip here. Just bringing it out as far as what feels right for you into a place where you aren't rolling over to that side. You've still got the pelvis very much grounded down, and you might use that right hand just to ground the right hip down to keep everything really, really still here. And then starting to bend the knee and crossing the foot across the body, opening the hip out. That left hip opens out. And just finding that nice position here, crossing the foot across the body, taking some deep breaths in through the nose, relaxing the belly, relaxing the jaw, all the muscles of the face, cleansing breaths in through the nose and out the nose or mouth. Nice. And then bringing the knee back to your neutral, back through center. Any movement with this, maybe it's a rock from side to side, maybe it is something else, just working with what is feeling really, really good for you. Every day is so different and everyone is so different. So this is all about you and your practice, setting you up for a beautiful day, for your best day. Nice. And then when you're ready, just bringing both knees in. And we're crossing the back of that right ankle on top of the left ankle. And then just starting to use your hands to gently pull the knees in towards the heart center. And then you're starting to straighten the arms out as you lengthen the tailbone down. And then using your hands to draw back in. And then as you exhale, starting to find that length again from the tailbone all the way to the end of the mat. You might find a little rock here, or you might start to circle the knees around in one direction, just letting the back of those heels be really heavy, allowing the tummy to soften, allowing the back of the shoulders to relax, the elbows are softening, so there's no tension being held anywhere. We're just finding a really nice massage here into the gut, into the digestive organs as well as the reproductive organs. Just finding some deeper breaths, sending your breath to expand the belly out, blowing it up like a balloon. And as you exhale out, just releasing. If you haven't already, just starting to circle gently the other way. You might cross the ankles over in the opposite way, so maybe bringing the left ankle to cross on top of the right and just continuing with this. Maybe it's a rock maybe it is circling around. Just allowing the eyes to be heavy, maybe the eyes are closed, maybe you have a soft gaze as you just really feel into the body, allowing the mind to connect into this time. Really feeling into the stretch, feeling into this beautiful time where you get to breathe, starting your day in such a beautiful way. Nice. And then just taking your time, just separating the knees and just maybe just finding any movement with that feels good. Then we're just starting to lengthen the left leg long as you start to lengthen the right leg. So just grabbing hold of behind the knee or the foot or maybe the ankle. We're just finding some stretch here. So starting to flex the toes back towards the face, and you're just starting to allow a nice lengthening out, maybe bending and straightening the knee. So kind of finding a nice lengthening up of the leg and then bending through the knee generously as you just find that full extension, and then let's go to the other side. So taking your time to float that right leg down and relaxing that right leg, the right foot, as you find that lengthening out of the left leg. Tailbone is lengthened out towards the end of your mat. You've got a heavy pelvis. Tummy muscles relaxing, back of the shoulders relaxing, maybe starting to bend through the knee and then starting to find that straightening out again. And continuing with that, bending the knee generously and then pressing the heel as you start to find that nice stretch through the hamstring, the back of the leg. Anything at all, guys, that feels good, just making this your own. And then taking your time when you're ready. We're going to find a nice twist here. So starting to slowly allow the knees to come in towards the heart and then lowering the knees over to the right side. Then you might bring the arms out wide, allowing the gaze to come over towards that left side as you just take some deep breaths here. In through the nose, out the nose or mouth. You might ground that top leg down by bringing the right hand to the outside of the knee, or you might not. You might just have the arms out in a T shape, just letting the back of the shoulders relax down, enjoying this beautiful twist here. And then when you're ready, inhale, head comes back through center first. Exhale as we come to the other side, letting the knees gently lower over to that left side. And twisting gently, starting to let the gaze come over to the right side. Maybe the arms come out wide, maybe the left hand comes to the outside of the top leg, grounding it down. Taking those deep breaths. And then when you're ready, we are coming all the way back through center and stretching the arms and the legs long, finding a really nice morning stretch here. Inhale as you reach even further. Exhale as you relax the whole body down into the earth. And then when you're ready, we're going to come all the way up to a seated position. You may be ready to finish here and go about the rest of your day, or you might like to join me for a little bit more, just a few nice head rolls here. So coming to a seated position, just bringing the chin down towards the chest, and then we're starting to circle the head all the way around in one direction. So you can just keep this going, breathing deeply in through the nose and exhale all the way back out the nose. Keeping this going, you might close the eyes or maybe softening the gaze as you continue to find a release of any tension through the neck, letting the shoulders come away from the ears, allowing the hands to relax onto the top of the leg somewhere, maybe palms down for grounding or up for receiving, not needing to overthink that in any way, just letting Everything flow, maybe starting to circle back the other way, reversing and going back in the opposite direction, continuing to breathe deeply. In through the nose, deep breath in, and full breath out. Relaxing the jaw, all the muscles of the face, space between the eyebrows, and then just letting the chin come back through center, and then lifting your gaze back to your neutral. Inhale, sweeping the arms up as you look up. Exhale, hands come down through prayer. Inhale, right fingertips come to the right side, left arm comes up and over. Exhale, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, coming to the other side, left fingertips come out, right arm floats up and over. Inhale, reach it up a bit higher. Exhale as you float over, coming to the other side. Just flowing, guys, with this in your own time. And finding that open heart, opening out the heart towards the sky, and then coming back through center, bringing the right hand to the outside of the right knee, gazing over that right shoulder. And then inhale, come back through center, unravel, coming to the other side. Left hand comes to the outside of that left knee, gazing over the left shoulder. Inhale, sitting up even taller. Exhale, coming back through center. And then bringing the chin to chest, tucking the tailbone under. And then inhale as you start to come up, finding a neutral, releasing the shoulders away from the ears, gazing up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, chin to chest, tucking the tailbone and rounding back. Inhale, lengthening up, gazing up towards the sky, shoulders away from the ears, and then rounding back. Chin to chest and tucking the tailbone. Inhale, finding that length again, gazing up. And exhale, rounding the spine, chin to chest, belly button comes back towards the back body. Inhale, finding that length again, gazing up, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, rounding the spine, chin to chest, and finding that beautiful stretching sensation into the spine. So good, you guys, just keeping it flowing in your own time with your breath. Anything at all that feels good here, finding that neutral. Nice. And breathing more deeply, flowing your breath from one movement into the next. Beautiful, you guys. And coming back up, lengthening up here, rolling the shoulders away from the ears, and then you might just come into a regular cross-legged position, maybe crossing the legs in the opposite direction, or maybe stacking one leg on top of the other. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale as you bring the hands down through prayer to your heart center, just keeping that length into the spine, length through the back of the neck. You're hinging forward at the hips and just starting to come all the way forward, as far forward as what the hips want to bring you today, and just starting to soften down. Forehead comes towards the earth, arms can come forward, relaxing down, finding some deep breaths in through the nose. Maybe on your next inhale, you might gaze forward, and then on your next exhale, just floating back down, finding a little more space into this. Maybe flowing with that, finding a little bit more space as you inhale in, and as you exhale out, gently starting to soften and melt into that space. Maybe you might stay in stillness and just breathe here into this. Nice. When you're ready, inhale, starting to walk the hands back in. Exhale. You're all done. Have a great day.